Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you around the world. Welcome to the daily Trade the Chain crypto update, where we give you everything you need to know for the next 24 hours and hopefully the next few days. Today is Tuesday, September 12th, and I'm going to go ahead and look at the Bitcoin chart first because we're coming off of some nice volatility. Nice short squeeze here for Bitcoin. If we go ahead and let me go ahead and refresh this. So, for those of you watching, we typically start with DXY, but I thought this was fascinating. If we go ahead and look at the entire rally, this was all perp. So this was basically all spot driven. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, where's my open interest? There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and show you open interest, and a lot of shorts obviously squeezed here. As you can see, OI decreasing with a big candle, and then shorts got stuffed yet again. Early this morning before U.S. session open, and now shorts got hit again. But shorts are still stacking up with, right about around the same amount of open interest as was down here. But you have to also assume that, as you're climbing up here, these are a lot of longs too, which may have to take profit. So with this sweep, we'll discuss that. But this could be a bearish indication for Bitcoin and possibly, the rest of the crypto sector. So very much something to keep your eyes on there. So let's move back to DXY. We're looking at the 12-hour right now. We are, of course, still holding above 106.6, which is, right around that high from last May. So very critical level here, still, well off the daily close, or yesterday's daily close. So if this does start climbing and gets back above 105.1, it will spell some doom and gloom for the risk market. So something to consider there. And obviously, if it drops back towards the 104.5 level, obviously that should be a good indication for risk markets. But we do have to remember tomorrow is CPI, and a very interesting print lining up. CPI is expected to rise to 3.6% from 3.2 previously, but core, which is the Fed's preferred inflation metric, is supposed to drop to 4.3. So this creates a lot of confusion in the market, exactly what to do. Nick Tamiros already tweeted that, he expects these numbers to come in as expected. So he is the Fed whisperer, so I do trust, his indications. But, typically we'd say lower or higher CPI is bearish, but also, or higher CPI is bearish, but lower core CPI, which again, Fed's preferred inflation metric, is bullish. So it'll be very interesting to see how the market reacts. So this is obviously kind of the retail number. This is the smart money number. So we'll have to see what happens, but could be a very confusing volatility day tomorrow. So we could see DXY pull a little Darth Maul, and of course get some weird action from equities. But let's move over to equities and check out. So Monte and I, if you watch Trading Rebellion, we're thinking that this would probably be a bearish area. The just under the low from August 30th, and obviously some trading right here. So got a rejection. We're now hovering around the weekly VWAP and 1 hour estimated 200 moving average. So seems to be very fair value, as we would say in the market. We did obviously break below the 44.74 level today and tag 4465, but immediately climbed back up. So a bit of a sweep of yesterday's low, if you will, or not exactly the low, but the U.S. session low, we should say. So it swept that level and moved higher. So that's typically a good indication. So we may see it run back towards 4487, maybe 4490. But obviously, if it can't break above the weekly VWAP, which is around 4475, it will definitely head lower. So 4475, critical junction for equities, break above. You will run these highs and get rejected below. You'll run these lows and possibly head lower. If we break below this low from this morning, 4463, I would expect us to head down to 4440, possibly even lower, to grab these recent lows from last Thursday. So, no clear read. I do think we're at fair value right now, but again, tomorrow is CPI. There should be some volatility depending on which way you want to trade it. You do have the highs up here. You have the lows down here, and break of these highs will send you up to 4506. And a break of the lows will send you down to 4440. So pretty clear read here. I wouldn't take a bet when it's sitting right in the center of value, but bet is coming soon. So let's look back at Bitcoin. Let's get rid of some of the indicators down there. Let's just look at the chart. So where's yesterday or where's Monday's high? So Monday's high is right here. I don't know why I couldn't find that. So it's literally directly at 25.9. So 25.9, very critical level. So we'll have to watch to see if we drop back there. If we do drop below the Monday high, we will then be back in the Monday range, which is basically this entire juncture right here. And if we do that, typically we'll run the lows of the range. So if we drop back beneath 25.9, I would expect eventually us to seep back down to around 25K. Now, we did just sweep last week's high. So we have last week's range as well. This is the high of last week, and this is the low of last week. So as you can see, we swept the high just now. Pretty ugly hourly candle if it closes as is, and I doubt it's going to change too much considering we only have 11 minutes left. It definitely could, but considering it's going to close beneath these wicks, beneath these bodies, this to me is a bearish close. And if we break back below really, 26.1, in my opinion, will probably end up tagging 25.9. But I think, the key number right here is going to be the 39, 26.36, because you still have, this could still be a range that it trades in. So maybe it's, let's get rid of these because these are kind of stale. We obviously played that out. So maybe we do something like this, that's possible. Or then we do something like this. And then obviously if we break back below here, it's, going to be probably choppy, but something like that. And then of course, if we somehow recover this, we need to get above the weekly high, which is 26, like 4.5. But I guess you kind of got this wick here. So let's call it 26.5. If you can get back above that, then you can start running towards 26.7. So, so these lows right here are very important. And then this area right here is very important. So no clear read. We obviously did get the squeeze higher. You're definitely going to see a lot of shorts enter. Let's go ahead and just kind of look. Let's go down to the lower time frame. Okay, so shorts are actually still exiting, and this could also be longs exiting too, because you did just sweep the high. Like I said, we still have a lot of open interest. Like these are definitely a lot of longs. I mean, there are gonna be some shorts, but people are definitely entering longs after that squeeze and after this squeeze. So if we see open interest decreasing with price decreasing, that'll be longs exiting and likely implies a break below 25.9. If we see price move higher with open interest decreasing, then that's, shorts closing and we're squeezing higher. But to me, this is not, a good looking candle right now. So things could change, but got our levels marked out. We'll see how it goes. ETH, very interesting. I thought this looked very similar to last Thursday. Of course, we didn't get we didn't run that high, but we tried to. And then we just ended up breaking down, which then led to this. So this looks, nothing is ever, 1-to-1. But, this does look very similar if you kind of just start mapping out the price action. So this is our weekly high, or this is our Monday high. This is obviously way down here, our Monday low. And then we have, the last week's highs up here and then last week's low. So we basically ran the Monday high and we ran last week's lows. And then we also swept, yesterday's high again this morning. And we could not break above the high from the squeeze at about 6 a.m. Eastern. So both very concerning things to me. And if we do look at open interest, let's see, we can see that, definitely some squeezing action, not a whole lot of long interest built up, mostly shorts getting squeezed. So that does mean spot could step in, it's plausible, but with this type of sweep, you definitely would expect a break of this level right here, which is critical because if we break that level, then we're going to head back to the 1580 level, which also coincides with the weekly VWAP. And then if we lose that level, way back down. So obviously we're still in the Monday range. And since we ran the highs, typically you would eventually expect us to run these lows. So this is a bearish indication. Again, anything can play out. We could get another squeeze. Something could happen from equities. We could get some news, but the way I'm looking at this, it couldn't run the high. It ran yesterday's high. It failed. It's now back in the range. Very ugly candle, in my opinion, and is very likely to at least drop down to 1580. And if you break 1580, you're under 1550. And then, same thing with Bitcoin. We talked about it. Looks like we're probably going to at least tag 25.9. And then if we break back to 25.9, we'll head to 25.6, and then, we could end up running these lows again. So, no exact clear read right now, but that's about as bearish as it gets for daily price action, especially after it ran both, for Bitcoin ran yesterday's high, ran last week's high, and then ETH ran yesterday's high and last week's low, and obviously was rejected pretty hard. So indication right now is bearish. We'll have to see how it plays out. I am still in shorts from the weekend. I'll be honest with you, I probably should have taken a little bit of profit yesterday. I did not. That's, my own mistake that I'll have to live with. But I would be shocked after this type of price action if we did not at least start heading towards the lows. And we'll see how we're going to react at mid-range, of course. Plenty of possible price action to be had around the mid-range, which for Bitcoin is going to be 25.6, and for ETH is going to be 1580. So we'll have to see how those react, but definitely looks like we're heading lower. We'll have to see what happens with equities, but getting stopped at the weekly VWAP certainly not positive, but definitely still some room on the momentum to run the high. So we'll have to see how all this plays out. But right now, indication is bearish, and the CPI print tomorrow is definitely worrying because it's not expected to really be a beat. CPI again expected to increase, core expected to decrease. So we'll have to see how this comes in. But CPI heading higher, certainly not the direction the Fed wants. And of course, we still want core now down near 2% as well, and it's still in the 4-digit number. So definitely, a couple of red herrings to watch out for. And the most recent price action of the past hour, not the best I've ever seen. So we'll have to see how it plays out, but indication is bearish after the short squeeze. So good luck. Happy trading. See everybody tomorrow. And remember, if you are not in the TTC community, then you can get signed up for 14 days free at www.tradethechain and get our analysis morning, noon, and night. So see everybody soon.